A lot of us with bipolar disorder end up going off of our meds at some point, but the reasons why aren't always as simple as people think. If you live with bipolar disorder, you will get it because some of these reasons are big deals to us. And if you're a family member or friend, I'm going to help you to understand us a little bit better. Today, I'm breaking down the honest reasons we go off our meds, not the typical explanations, but the real reasons people don't always talk about. Since meds are one of the biggest tools we have to manage our disorder, it helps to know why anyone wouldn't want to take them. So let's get into the 10 biggest reasons we quit taking our bipolar meds. I'm Patty, the girl with blue energy. I have bipolar disorder and I make videos about mental health and personal growth. Let's start with the side effects because honestly, the side effects are sometimes worse than bipolar disorder itself. And this is one of the big reasons people stop taking their meds. I've been diagnosed with bipolar a long time and I've taken a lot of meds, so I've experienced a lot of side effects over the years. So I'm going to go over some of the common side effects people experience on bipolar meds and then some of the more rare and more concerning ones. So you'll often see GI symptoms like constipation, diarrhea, upset stomach, dizziness, nausea. Those are common with a lot of bipolar meds. You can experience increased thirst or frequent urination with some of these meds. You might also see problems with like muscle twitches and hand tremors on meds like lithium. I used to experience that a lot. Lithium can also make you feel like you're drunk or have a brain fog going on. And I know that can happen with some of the other meds, especially the antipsychotics. Some other common side effects are sleepiness, so you're just drowsy all the time, or headaches. Less common, but it happens a lot, is akathisia. This is a common side effect that you see mainly with antipsychotics, but I've experienced it with antidepressants as well. So akathisia is hard to explain to someone who hasn't experienced it. It's described as a restlessness and a need to move, but it's worse than that. You feel like you're going out of your skin, like you're going insane because you need to move, and when you move, that doesn't solve that restless feeling, so you need to move again, and it's a maddening, uncomfortable experience. Another concerning side effect is tardive dyskinesia, and that's one I've always been mindful of when my doctors prescribe medication to me because it can be permanent. And it causes you to have involuntary movements in your mouth. So you might be chewing on your lip or slapping your lips together or moving your tongue involuntarily. And it's not something you want to be stuck with if you can avoid. So those are some of the big side effects, but there are also some scary side effects that you should know about. Lithium, which I've taken for a really long time, can cause you to go into sudden renal failure. And I didn't know this until I saw a doctor after I'd been taking it a while that said those tremors and symptoms you're having are actually lithium toxicity. So you can actually go into sudden renal failure and potentially die from taking lithium if it's not monitored correctly. And so if you're taking lithium, it's important that you're having your blood checked regularly. You can also have issues with some of the meds, including lithium, damage to your thyroid over time. So they usually check your thyroid regularly, but some of these meds do come with some heavy side effects. Around 40 to 50% of people with bipolar disorder will go off their meds at some point, and side effects aren't the only reason why. Sometimes the meds work so well we think we don't need them. What I mean by that is when someone gets diagnosed with bipolar disorder, what'll often happen is they'll start taking meds and then they'll start feeling better. They'll start feeling fine. They'll think they're normal and that maybe they never really had bipolar disorder, that was just a bad period in their life. And then they might decide to take a try at quitting their meds because they don't really need them. The problem is when you go off of your meds, you may not have the clarity to be able to see that you are having problems again. And because you're not taking your meds, you're going to be less stable and might not recognize that it's the bipolar disorder until things get bad again. We all want to be normal, right? Okay, some of us might not, but a lot of people with bipolar disorder don't like having it. They want to be normal. And to be perfectly honest, if I could ditch this bipolar and be normal, that's what I would do. And this is one of the reasons why I've quit taking meds in the past, because I just wanted to be normal. And when you take meds, even though they make you feel more normal, you still know you're taking them, and they still make you feel like that person who has bipolar disorder. I just wanted to be normal, and if I stopped taking meds, then I could pretend like I didn't have bipolar disorder, and I could be just like everyone else and be normal. Number 4, we miss the cray-cray. And when I say cray-cray, I mean we miss the mania. Remember me asking, do you actually like being manic? Well, a lot of people do. And this is a big reason why people quit taking their meds, because they miss the mania. They miss their high energy. They miss their personality. They miss that creativity that they get when they're manic. And they want it back. When you're on meds, it can make you feel dull and like you're not the same person. We don't like the lows. We hate the depression, but a lot of people like the high energy they get when they're manic. Now that I've been taking meds off and on for a long time, and I've been on lithium for a while, I want to give you some advice. If you feel like you're being dulled by your meds, or you've lost your creative energy or your spark, give it time, because after some time, you'll find that you'll get that back. I don't know if you pick up on my high energy. Well, I still have it, and I take lithium regularly. When I first started, I felt like it dulled me a little, but once you get used to it and adjust to it, your creativity, your energy, a lot of that will come back. You'll just have it without the mania. Number 5, sometimes the meds are too expensive. Now, I don't think this is the biggest reason why people quit taking their meds, but it can be. Most of the older meds for bipolar disorder are pretty affordable. It's the newer meds that can get pricey, and they're kind of a pain in the butt too, because they require prior auths and aren't covered with everybody's insurance. So this can be a factor. Plus, some of these meds, like the lithium I take, require more frequent visits to your doctor, which can add up. If cost is an issue for you, talk to your doctor, because there may be patient programs that you can qualify for, or your doctor may be able to put you on a more affordable medication. Number 6 is they want a natural solution. This is one I've done myself. I started following the ketogenic diet about 8 years ago, and I was able to quit taking my meds completely for about 6 years. And now I follow the ketogenic diet and take lithium. But I'm going to get into why I decided to do the ketogenic diet a little bit later in number 9. So a lot of people want to go off of their meds because they want a natural solution. They prefer a natural treatment. And I'm kind of that kind of person. However, I'm not anti-med. I just, if I can avoid them and do something natural, that's what I would prefer. So a lot of people try to go off their meds to do something natural. If you're going to do that, ketogenic diet or whatever natural solution you want to try, do not go off your meds cold turkey. This can throw you into a really terrible manic episode or depression. And so you want to taper off if you go off your meds and work with your doctor on it. Number 7 is a big fat reason why many of us go off of our meds. And yeah, that might sound rude, but weight gain is a big problem on many of these meds, and doctors often just ignore it. Like, hey, who cares if your weight balloons, as long as you're not manic, right? But I promise, when you gain 75 to 100 pounds from being on these meds, it will make you depressed. I've gained 75 pounds on some of the meds I've taken. Antipsychotics are really bad about causing weight gain. And if you've gained weight on them, it's not because you're just lazy or eating too much. A lot of these slow down your metabolism. They may cause you to be more hungry or your body to slow down, but that metabolic change is what's causing you to gain all the weight. So if you're taking a med that's made you gain a lot of weight, talk to your doctor about it, because there are other meds you can go on that don't cause weight gain, or there's sometimes meds they can put you on to kind of counter that. Number 8 is feeling like a zombie. Some of the meds they use for bipolar disorder definitely kill the mania, but they also slow you way down. And you may feel doped up, sedated, you may have brain fog, you may sleep all the time. I've been on a few meds that were like this, and I hated them. They can make you sleep. Like one of them made me sleep 13 hours a day. All I did was sleep. And when I got up, I was still tired. If you're taking a med that makes you feel like a zombie, I would talk to your doctor about it, because there's so many choices in meds now that you shouldn't have to feel like a zombie and doped up all the time just to be stable. Number 9, the meds don't work. Now, this is one I've almost never seen mentioned, and it's almost like nobody wants to admit the magic pills don't always work. But this is actually one of the main reasons people go off of their meds, because they don't work. And it's one of the reasons I went off of mine. When I started following the ketogenic diet about 8 years ago, it wasn't because I was anti-med. I was actually taking multiple meds, and I was rapid cycling. I started keto because I was desperate. I wanted something to make the rapid cycling stop. So I'm going to talk about the ketogenic diet coming up soon. I don't want to talk about it too much here, but I do want to address the fact that people quit taking their meds sometimes because they're not working for them, and they've tried a lot of meds. I know I had. So meds not working or not finding the combination of meds that work for you is definitely a big reason that people stop taking them, and a reason I think that should be talked about a little more than it is. And the last one might surprise you, especially if you're a friend or family member of someone who has bipolar disorder. Number 10 is pressure from a partner or family members. Now, a lot of times when someone goes off of their meds, people automatically assume that they're just being hard-headed and we don't want to take our meds, and why can't you just take your meds? That it's just us that we don't want to take our meds. But surprisingly, a lot of people get pressure from their family or their partner to stop taking their meds, and a lot of the reasons they have for not wanting you to take meds are kind of similar to the ones we have for ourselves. Like they may want you to try a natural solution, or they may not like your label. Like they don't want you to be labeled with bipolar disorder, so they don't want you to take the meds you need. So it is a factor. I don't necessarily think this one is a huge factor, but I definitely have seen it. Sometimes people quit taking their meds because of influence from a partner or a family member. Since I'm being honest here, I'm going to tell you the truth. When I watch other YouTube channels, I sometimes feel like I'm watching an advertisement for a psychiatric med. And what I mean by that is people are so pushy with meds that they can't be objective and say, hey, they do come with some side effects, or there might be some reasons why somebody might want to go off of their meds. I think by ignoring the side effects or the reasons why people choose to go off their meds, they're doing a disservice to the bipolar community. Why I made this video is not to say, oh, these are some good reasons for you to quit your meds. It was for me to validate your feelings and say, hey, I understand these reasons for why you might want to quit taking your meds, but here's some things you might want to know before you do that. I am not anti-med. I take meds, but I think I have a balanced approach to it. I hope that I'm a positive influence and encouragement for you to talk to your doctor and work on solutions to manage your bipolar disorder better, whether that be changing your meds or adding the ketogenic diet or adding other lifestyle factors to your management routine. So I hope that this video has helped you. And honestly, I'd really love to hear some feedback from people who've taken meds like me and have gone off them. What was the reason why you quit taking them. Was it any of the 10 I mentioned? Leave me a comment and let me know. Thanks for listening, guys. I'll see you again real soon.